Okay, Amy, Ben, and Carlos each have some money. Ben has half as much money as Amy. Ben gives 2/5 of his money to Amy. Carlos gives 3/4 of his money to Amy. And Amy now has £249 and Carlos has £39. And the question we are asked is how much money did Amy have at the start? So Amy and at the start. Okay, well, again, we have a very complicated looking problem here, and it's exactly the sort of thing that usually becomes much clearer when you draw it out. So I'm going to, unsurprisingly, draw a bar for Amy and for Ben and for Carlos. Okay, let's look at the start. Ben has half as much money as Amy. Well, okay. So what I could do is give Ben 1 unit and Amy 2 units. However, I've noticed this bit here. Ben gives 2/5 of his money to Amy. So I'm going to draw a bigger base unit for Ben and one that I can subdivide into fifths. That's going to make my drawing easier. So I'm just going to use the squares that I've got here to help me. And that's going to be what Ben has at the beginning. Okay, and we know that Ben has half as much as Amy. So that would be the same. But Amy has double the amount that Ben has. Okay, so she has 10 parts to Ben's 5. Now, this now here is what Amy has at the start, and I'm mindful of the question which is asking me how much money did Amy have at the start. So I think I am going to note that here. So I'm just going to, so this is at start. And here's my question mark. That's what I want to find out. So this is because I know that Amy's going to start attracting these large amounts of money, and it's going to make it easier for me to remember what she had when she started. Okay, so let's get back to here. So we've done this. Ben gives 2/5 of his money to Amy. So that's 2/5 here. Okay, and these are going to Amy. So I'm going to draw them in here. Okay, so now Amy has another 2 parts. All right, so that's that piece of information used. And then we're on to Carlos. Carlos gives 3/4 of his money to Amy. Now, we're not given any information about how the amount Carlos has relates to the amount that Ben or Amy has, just that he gives 3/4 of his money to Amy. So the portion sizes, so I'm going to draw a bar that's split into quarters, but then I'm going to draw them just a different size than these, just so that I remember that they are different. I'm just going to make things easy for myself here. Okay, and I know that these don't have the size of these is not to scale with these. Okay, so this is Carlos's money at the beginning, and he gives 3/4 of his money to Amy. Okay, so I don't know what Amy is doing to deserve all this largesse, but there we go. 3/4 of Carlos's money is going to Amy. And I'm going to draw them in here. So 3 of these portions. Okay, and in fact, what I'm going to do is use that color just so that I'm clear which money is which. So this is from Carlos. Okay, and this bit was from Ben. Okay, so Ben and Carlos. Then what we're told that Amy now has £249 and Carlos has 39. Now this is very interesting because we now know this value here. Now, this is 39, and if this is 39, then this also, all of these must be 39. And we're also told that at the end, this is the end situation. So at the end, she has 249. Now, hopefully you can see that if we work out 39 times 3, so let's do 39 times 3, okay, and that is 117. Okay, so 39 times 3 is 117. So we now have this value here, 117. And if we take 117 away from 249, okay, so 249 subtract 117, and we are left with 132. That then gives us this bit here, and this is significant because we know that all of these parts have an equal value. Okay, so how many of these equal parts have we got? Well, the original was 10, and we've got these extra 2, so that's 12. So if we do 132 divided by 12, well, that gives us 11. And we now know the value of each of these parts. Each of these parts has a value of 11. And if we know what this value is, then we can calculate the value of what Amy had at the start, which was 10 of these portions. So to calculate our answer, we have 11 times 10, which of course is 110. So that's our final answer, 110. Okay, well, I hope that helps, and I hope it really does illustrate how a question that can look really complicated is actually made very easy. It's easy to see what it is you need to do when you draw a model of what is going on.